Hello. Have you been exposed to Babylon's Fall? You may be entitled to financial compensation. Exposure to Babylon's Fall may result in the following: loss of $60, severe headaches, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, angry diarrhea, going wee-wee in your whitey tighties, night terrors, day terrors. We here at resetget Law Firm Incorporated LLC Rising Revengeance are here to defend you and your right to not play the worst video games ever made. To find out if you're eligible, please call us at our phone number, That's the phone number. Call today and we can take your money, get you compensation for the game that you bought and the other stuff that we said before. I was gonna change clothes for the rest of the video because I'm just supposed to be dressed nice for the bit, but I don't feel like changing, so. I think we can all agree that Square Enix absolutely does not know what they're doing with these live service games. Slap Final Fantasy or Kingdom Hearts or some god-awful name that doesn't make any sense on the cover, and they know what they're doing. If you give them a game that should more or less be a surefire hit, they will make sure that it is a dumpster fire of epic proportions. See, with Avengers, they had pretty good gameplay that was forced into a tedious and boring gameplay loop that, although having a pretty decent single-player story, was bogged down by horrible repetition, terrible microtransactions, and no real reason to come back and keep playing the game. With Outriders, they had pretty competent third-person shooter gameplay with a variety of builds that every class could use, although only some of them worked in the endgame. Unfortunately though, it was bogged down by a very boring story, super repetitive enemy design, and bosses that would absolutely put you to sleep, save for one of them. Now with Babylon's Fall, they've got I don't really know where to start with this, so let's just start with the beginning, or the closest thing that I could find to it. The first trailer for the game was shown back at E3 in 2018, and although it didn't really show us any gameplay, it gave us an idea of how the game would look, some lore background stuff, and the painted style that we would grow to love and adore when the game would finally launch. Then we fast forward to 2019 where we got the first gameplay trailer for the game and we really got to see, you know, the meat and potatoes of this game. And it's pretty clear that it's very closely inspired by Nier Automata, however you pronounce it. It looks solid. It looked like a Platinum game. It had that visual flair and that spice to it that draws people back to their games time and time again. Not only would your character have a light and heavy weapon, they would have two additional spectral weapons controlled by their Gideon coffin. That's a terrible name. These spectral weapons are controlled by your right and left triggers, and they can be swung or fired regardless of whether you're in the middle of a combo, you're getting knocked away, you're sitting on your ass. They can be controlled regardless. You have a meter that is used to use these spectral weapons, and you fill the meter back up by using your physical weapons, your heavy and light weapons. So if you're using all your weapons in tandem, you can get some pretty long, crazy combos in there. It's too bad that the actual gameplay is super boring and repetitive, and it doesn't reflect the work that they put into the system. Basically, one of the big problems you're gonna see here is that the gameplay in this 2019 trailer looks very fun and flashy, and then when you play the game, it's got all the fun and flash of a free mobile game. And a bad one at that. Then, in 2021, when we finally got more news about the game, we learned that it would be going live service. Wonderful news. And then we fast forward to present day where Square Enix vomited the game onto storefronts everywhere, and everybody, including me, began shrieking at the top of their lungs. And then Square Enix had the absolute gall to put a little survey out and say, well, geez, I guess we didn't know what we were doing. How can we make the game better? I don't know, man. Maybe you could like put it back in the oven or strap it to a rocket and shoot it into the sun. That would be good. They launched the game at the same time as Elden Ring. The only people playing this game instead of Elden Ring are idiots like me who are making videos about it. What were you thinking? Now, rarely do I cover a game on the Is Dead series where I know nobody's gonna defend it. Not a soul. This game got absolutely destroyed in every review for it. Even IGN, who is notoriously pretty light-handed with their bad reviews on games, especially if it's from like a AAA publisher, even they gave it a 4. I mean, it's not even a 2, but at least they gave it something less than a 5. All right, let's talk about the story. Just kidding.
Let's not.
The story is some kind of weird, generic, like Final Fantasy style mythology mixed with weird Christian lore with like the Tower of Babel and all this stuff. I don't know what they were going for, man, but it did not work. The cutscenes are just absolutely putrid to look at, and the voice performances are so bad that any like weight or drama that they could have had with some of them is just thrown completely out the window. Nothing works. Nothing works in this game. There's really like not much more I want to talk about the story, so let's move on to the star of the show, the gameplay. The gameplay is like someone was watching Nier Automata gameplay through a telescope, and the lens was all scratched up, and they had earmuffs on, and they were blindfolded, and they were dead. That's kind of what the gameplay's like. And it's hard because when you watch the gameplay, it kind of looks okay. When you play it, it's not. Like, you have to experience how bad it is, and that is not me telling you to go buy this game. This is not the kind of game where it's like, oh, it's so funny, you gotta try it, and then don't do that. This game is not worth your time. It's certainly not worth your money, so please just take my word for it and the other people that have reviewed it. Despite having multiple different types of weapons that you can set as your light, your heavy, and your spectral weapons, none of them feel different or unique enough to where, you know, I had like a favorite build. It's boring. It's very boring and very bland, and I couldn't get anything out of the game. There was no like anything I got where I was like, oh, okay, it's fun now. No. You're just mashing 4 buttons until everything in front of you is dead. That's it. It doesn't feel fun. It doesn't feel rewarding. It's just a chore. It's like a job. The only thing that makes it kind of fun are the like whooshy, whippy visual effects that Platinum Games is known for. That's just a visual thing. It's not like gameplay related. What's even more sad is that in that 2019 gameplay trailer, they showed a part where there's a boss, and he's the first big boss in the game, so I know you don't do it. You like grab his sword with your Gideon coffin and like pull it out of his hands, and then you cut him with it, and he's like bleeding everywhere. It looked really cool. No, it doesn't happen in the game. Of course it doesn't. Of course they cut the only cool stuff. Every boss fight in this game is just a lesson in patience. How long can you bear to smack the same 4 buttons on your controller until either the big guy falls down or you fall asleep? How long can you bear? And then there's the bosses who just have some stupid move that stuns you for seconds on end, and they can just spam that over and over again. And the boss fights are either boring because you're just smacking the same buttons over and over, or they're boring because the only thing the boss does is just hold you, basically in one spot, and only let you attack so often, which drags the fights out more. They're not challenging. They're not fun. They suck. The regular enemies, the same thing. If you don't have like the best possible weapons and armor that you could have at the time, every enemy encounter in this is just so spongy. You just hit them over and over, and you keep knocking them down, and they keep getting up. How do they make every second of this game miserable? Completely miserable. Alright, I'm gonna actually try to just do this without looking. I guessed wrong. I thought I got them all. Is that it? Was that whole level? And this is coming from Platinum Games, who are well known for how exciting and vibrant their games normally are. So this coming from them, it's like 4 times as disappointing as it should be. Something that I also usually don't associate with Platinum Games is battle passes and microtransactions, which, let's be real, that was not Platinum Games' decision. There is no way that anyone on that team was like, yeah, this is the future, a $60 game with a battle pass and microtransactions. It's got Square Enix's stank all over it. I mean, it's like Square Enix was trying to bury this game hundreds of feet below the surface of the earth with the price tag and the monetization model. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if next week they announced NFTs were coming to the game. Wouldn't be shocked at all. I also don't really know what they think they're gonna get for feedback with this little survey that they put out. The game is craptastic from top to bottom. And this weird painted visual style they went with, it's like cool in theory, but in the actual game it just looks putrid. It looks terrible. I have not seen a AAA game look this bad in a long time. I can't even think of the last one. I've seen a lot of people say that it looks like a PS2 game, and I don't quite agree with that. What I think it looks like are those muddy brown sludge graphics from the Unreal 3 engine. You remember that? You remember the late 2000s and early 2010s when every game on the 360 and PS3 ran on Unreal 3 and they just looked like dirt? That's the vibe I'm getting from this. But instead of like dark brown dirt, it's like light brown dirt. It's still dirt. If there's any kind of praise that I can give this game, and it's artistic praise, it's the main theme of the game. The theme that plays when you're on the title screen bangs pretty hard. Every other song in the game though, I don't remember them. So that's pretty bad. This game has one thing I like, and it's the song on the title screen. So I guess if you really want to experience the best part of this game, go on YouTube, type in Babylon's Fall main menu music. There you go. That's the best part of the game. It's like a minute long. The game launched with a pitiful 1,000 players, and it has not reached that since. It's dead, guys. Don't mince words on this. Don't think I'm fibbing or anything like that. It's dead. It is dead on arrival. I thought for sure after all the terrible, terrible reviews and videos came out about it, I'm like, all right, so now they're gonna get, 2,000 or 3,000, memers, people that want to make their own little goofy video on the game. People will at least buy it for that. They might return it before the 2-hour mark, but you never know. No. It's not even that good. It's not so bad it's good. It's just fucking bad. When Square Enix was deciding to launch this game, they loaded the game into the cannon and they just pointed it at an open grave and fired away. Even Final Fantasy Angry White Guy Simulator is gonna blow this fucking game out of the water. Absolutely. I can honestly say that I have nothing nice to say about this game. It's bad, it's boring, it's repetitive, it's greedy, it's everything that a video game should just never be. Don't play it for the haha funnies. It's not worth it. Just go back to playing Elden Ring, please. Thank you guys for watching. I really hope you liked the video, and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe as it really helps me and the channel out. I also have a link to my Twitch channel in the description where you can watch me play these games before I make the videos about them. I've also got my Discord link down there if you want to come, hang out, talk about nothing, and show us pictures of your pets. I really appreciate you guys tuning into every video, supporting me, leaving your comments, either suggestions or just praise. It feels good, man. I'm glad you guys are here. Make sure you tune in for the next video where we explore a Eurojank game that managed to copy every aspect of a game that's actually good and make all of those aspects terrible. Stay tuned.